So good to see you.
I was at a retreat and tell me, do you think that you agree with this? Like, there's really no cause and effect. Like we in us, this relative world, we think, oh, this causes this. But I'm trying to figure out like how to work with, and I'm just sort of right now just kind of just going with it. But I am so tired, like so tired. And I'm like, oh, it must be the jet lag, or just maybe it's like retreat brain, or I don't know, like, but I don't want to do anything. Like, I'm so minimal. I had my face off, like my camera off, because I was laying down listening to you guys, fully attentive, but I was laying down on the floor because I'm like, what the? I just can't sit up. I can't.
So what is the expectation about?
There's that, yeah, that's the drive, like, be productive, be good, the doer, right? The doer, like,
Do
there's
you see
that, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
do you see that's a story?
What's the story? Wanting to be the doer? Like, at what part is the
No, no,
story?
no,
Like,
no, no. Yeah. Well, there's a story about you having to do the right thing. You have to sit in
yeah.
front of the computer and be attentive. You have to not be tired. You have to be full of energy. You have to make all the good notes. You have to all. Do you see that is just a story? It has nothing to do with reality. You're stepping into a character of Debbie, and
Mhm.
there's absolutely no freedom for Debbie to be Debbie. Do you see that?
Yeah.
I'm hereby setting you free. You don't have to be alert and awake. You don't have to be, on the spot and say all the bright things. You don't even have to be awake. You don't even have to show up. You don't even have to show up. You know, you complete. I'm setting you completely free to be to be with whatever is alive right now. And then you just move with that. And the moment you notice that you're no longer moving with that freedom, then notice what is the story about.
And so that here's the thought that comes in is like, okay, yeah, I can be with it now, but like it just can't go on for too many days. I got to do X, Y, Z, right? You know what I mean? Like, so that's dumb. That's a thought that's projecting into the future. I can't have no
Yeah,
control,
yeah,
right?
and it's
Yeah.
just a story. It's just a story. It's just a story. It's like but I have to take the dogs for a walk, you know? It's just a story, if you're not interfering in any way, you will take on your Wellingtons and take the dogs for a walk without any thought. It will just happen because you have dogs, you know? Oh, I have to plan what to eat. Well, if you it's just a story. If you don't plan anything, you will make some food at some point when you're hungry. Just like you're not planning when to pee and you're not planning, all those things, when to have a glass of water. You're not planning any of that. We all have things in our lives that we have freedom about, you know? Like going and peeing or having a glass of water. We have freedom around that. We don't plan when to do it. We just do it when we need a glass of water, when we need to go to the bathroom. And it's that freedom that you can have in all areas of your life where there's no story attached to it. You just allow things to happen when they happen because they happen anyway. It's just the ego that believes that there's a story, the ego that believes in a character, but it's just a play. It's the frontal lobe going afterwards and saying, "But I did. I was at the meeting today at the Q&A, and I was so clever." It's just the frontal lobe playing a trick on you. There's a freedom in the moment right now, and all of you, I'm setting all of you free. Just to be as you are in this moment without the story, without the character, without any doing, without any planning or anything. It's just being right now in this moment with us. And that's it.
Because something really needs to happen, it will happen. And I think you're right about that. Like, I have other priorities that are probably just false, like, oh, I should go exercise, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that is we have already talked about that. Third feather. Exercising with the purpose of something, that's third feather.
yeah.
It's a diversion. It's a diversion. There's a
It's a
sensory
diversion.
Yeah, there's a sensory experience happening in the body. There's an icky sensation, fear, anger, guilt, and shame. You pick. One of them is happening in the body. You don't want to feel like that. So you divert with saying, I need to exercise to be healthy. That is just a diversion. Not to feel how it feels to be in a body. If you do not plan for exercise, exercise will happen. But it's because of that underlying story, that underlying ick, fear, anger, guilt, and shame that's really, really uncomfortable to be with. Then we think that we need to start to plan things and do things and plan it out. So I'm doing that because of that's the story. Underneath that, there's an icky sensation that I would invite you just to stay with, fear, anger, guilt, and shame. You pick, let's say, shame. Feeling of shame, then you just allow, cannot be in a body that is shameful. You allow it to go bigger, bigger, bigger. You detach the label about shame. How does it feel? There's a contraction here in the belly. Okay, that is moving about. Now I start to cry. Now I feel angry. Okay, that's another diversion. So you just stay with it, stay with it, stay with it until all of it has been experienced. Like Anna was talking about, been into every single part of that room. And then it's just released. And then you're going to go, I feel like exercising. And then you go up and exercise.
Okay.
It's
That's
about
so
that
funny.
mindset of freedom, where you need to set everybody free and set yourself free to be as it is in this moment without any interference. And if something needs your attention, second feather or fourth or fifth feather, then you work with it, you know? Allow it to be there. You don't need to do anything. You just allow it to be there. And then it will end, it will dissolve itself all by itself. Even though you don't know what it is just going to dissolve itself. And then it hasn't got any charge anymore. And suddenly you're not planning when to eat and what to eat and when to exercise and what to exercise. You're not planning any of that anymore because the underlying, ick, it's not there anymore. And then you just move in life with freedom.
Wow. Okay. There's a lot there. Thank you.
Mm. So if you're tired, you're tired. If you got jet lags, you don't even need a label for that. You can just be tired. It can be overwhelmed, it was a lot. And then you just go to bed and lie in bed and not creating a story about how long you're gonna lie there and all that. You just flow with whatever is alive, oh, I need something soft to wear. And then you wear something soft. That you don't need to plan everything or understand everything. The majority of things we can't even understand. The moment you just allow yourself to flow with it and have that freedom just to flow with it, it's just happening anyway. And it is just happening anyway. We're just not the stick in the wheel anymore.
Cool. All right. You rock, Vanilla. Thank you.
Beautiful. So happy you're here. So happy. Back and lie on the floor without the camera on. Much love.